First of all, as a side note, this is such a similar plot to Donkey Kong. Same kind of thing happens, right? Donkey Kong is like the male monkey has his big stash of bananas. They get stolen by the invaders, the Kremlins, who come to his island and steal the bananas away from him. And the banana in that series acquires slowly a mystical tone. And by the time we reach Donkey Kong Country 3, the bananas have become, you know, spirits flying in the sky and all congregating around a banana goddess. So that the series slowly becomes something like it becomes deliteralized. First, it's a literal hoard of bananas that has been stolen, but then you slowly get the feeling through the imagery used in those games that it's no longer just about recovering material possessions, it's about recovering some sort of a spiritual possession as well. And as I try to show in my videos about that somehow it begins as this sort of masculine story of the patriarch with his stash of bananas, and the bananas get stolen from him, and there's like almost a castration anxiety thing about that. And then slowly as it progresses, Donkey Kong Country 3 is much more feminine. You have Wrinkly Kong at the center of it all, as the save game place, and also as like the priestess of the banana goddess. You know, the protagonist is Dixie, and then also it just, you know, it involves Kiddy Kong, which also it brings to it let's say a slightly less aggressive form of male monkey, to put it one way, right? It's a baby, kind of much more mellow. I don't know. I feel like there is some sort of strange union of the beginning and the end of Donkey Kong Country in that way. So, in any case, I suppose the reason I'm recapping this right now is simply because I get the feeling that this is almost doing the same thing, but in a much more simplified way, in that there is less lore in this game for us to explore. But in any case, so we have Ai, who is a monkey whose bananas are stolen. Now, I say that I think the fact that he's a male monkey plays into this. I'll try to explain why and what I mean by that. First of all, the antagonist is also a male monkey. It's Gone Home, right? So it's male monkey versus male monkey. I mean, this is a big trope in video games, right? You have in Super Mario, it's the same thing. You have Mario and Bowser, right? The antagonist very often tends to be like almost like a shadow aspect of the male protagonist. Now, however, of course, in all those games, as I said, there's much more lore, there's much more information in the manuals and in the game to help interpret what is going on. Here, things are much more bare, and so the few things that make me think this is what's going on here are not super like strong evidence, but in a strange way they've caught my attention in any case. What's the first one? The first one is that, so we have Ai running away from Gon Gon, and then the whole point is to collect bananas. Okay, now a part of me wants to just straight jump into the whole Freudian thing and say that the bananas are a phallus, and that therefore there is some kind of way in which Gon Gon... How is Gon Gon different from Ai? The main way seems to be that Gongon is more traditionally masculine, in the sense that he's more sort of like he's got a stronger body. He's, you know, he doesn't want to gain access to the temple. He just destroys the walls of the temple. There's just a lot more like energy and aggression, and Ai seems to be kind of smaller, you know, physically not as strong, and so on. So it's also as if, you know, Gongon is representing here also a shadow aspect to Ai, in that it's an aspect of Ai's gender identity that he isn't that he isn't expressing, or something like that. Again, why exactly do I think that? Well, you get visited by the Grand Monkey. Now, the Japanese manual doesn't say who this Grand Monkey is, or, you know, or what they are, or whether it's a he, right? So maybe I'm just jumping to a conclusion here, but I get that. I can't have a feeling that when the word grand is used, that it's some sort of like a male god figure, a Yahweh kind of male god monkey. So that, okay, you know, I'm just gonna go with that for the time being. And so this is, let's say, this is, here on out, I'm going to be offering an interpretation based on the assumption that the Grand Monkey is a male god. So that's like this timeline I'm going on, is this specific interpretation. So what's going on then is that a bunch of aggressive male gorillas attack the island, and Ai runs away, and in running away gets a vision from a male monkey god, like a, you know, a father figure of sorts. Then this father figure suggests that by solving a bunch of puzzles and ascending a bunch of stages, Ai can reach a banana paradise. Somehow, once he reaches that banana paradise, Gongon is there. I don't know why. Well, of course, that's video game logic, you know. The Gongon is just there, okay. But it's also... doesn't it seem as if maybe Gongon is there because he's a part of Ai? Or like, all of those monkeys travel as a group, kind of. Ai, Mimi, Baby, and Gongon. In fact, if I remember correctly, in Super Monkey Ball 2, Gongon is an ally, a friend of the good monkeys, and then the villain becomes a different character. So it's also as if in the events of Donkey Kong Super Monkey Ball 1, Gongon goes from being a villain to an ally. So it almost does lend itself to being interpreted in this way, that Gongon is being integrated by the communal protagonist monkey psyche or something. And therefore suggesting that Gongon is the shadow aspect, so that the only reason Gongon is a villain in this game is because Ai isn't accepting Gongon. Ai hasn't integrated the Gongon within. And that's why Ai gets visited by a male monkey god, because the Grand Monkey gets presented as being a benevolent figure, right? Because he suggests that there is this banana paradise. But the Grand Monkey is also very similar to Gongon in that if he is a god, then he represents the archetype of a strong male figure kind of thing. Strong in that he is a god, in that he has a power over Ai that Ai doesn't have over the Grand Monkey. In the same way, Ai doesn't have more physical strength than Gon. However, then the whole game plays on this somehow because it's not about physical strength. It's about ingenuity, reflexes, agility. It's about a whole bunch of other things that perhaps Gon doesn't have as much. But in any case, it does seem as if the Grand Monkey is a personification of this sort of a strong male gender identity that Ai isn't identifying with, or something.